Hello family, hope you are doing well. Welcome back. um we want to dive into this chart and see what the week ahead might offer, but before that, remember that all the time we need to respond to what the market offers. Last week was super amazing, and you actually show price print all the pairs that we had highlighted. The outlook was super amazing and they played out so well. I think we took advantage of that. But I want to say one thing before we begin, that ensure that you also have your own logic before you press the button. Don't rely on my information only or anyone else's information. The only way to be good is to also go to the charts and try to reason with the charts. Otherwise, if you are solely dependent on what I share, then you are not learning, then you will not improve, then you will make mistakes which might harm your account. So be a trader and do what is expected by going to the charts and trying to learn these concepts in a way that you can easily make sense of the charts. Now, what you're looking at, this is a DXY daily chart. Last week you see how we highlighted this pair. We had a monthly rejection, we had a daily order block which was retested on Monday. From there we had expansion, taking out, going all the way to our weekly objective. That was our weekly fair value gap. And then on Friday we did what? We had a very nice TGIF aided with the NFP. So that's said and done. So what happened here last week is very nice price delivered. So my work this week, I want to see now you see what happened on Friday. Actually rejected this daily fair value gap here. So I want to see this high taken out, this one here, and this high is Thursday's high. So I want to see this dollar open low to go high, take out this high, and also if it is possible, it can take out this candle high without a wick. When I see such kind of candles, most of the time price will be going to those levels, the candles without a wick. So I want to see higher dollar to some level before we start a bearishness, or if price decides to close below this daily fair value gap and form an inverse fair value gap or a balanced price range, then price will retest, we continue lower. But the high probability case scenario for me here is to see price open to some level in this week here above 0.5 of this week, and then push higher to take out last week's high, this high, and then maybe into this candle without a wick. In simple terms, that is what I'm looking into this coming week from a DXY. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it looks clean, it looks amazing. So we had last week, we had this inversion here. This is what we used, remember, to support our analysis higher. We had this daily order block, price rejected, closed above here. We had our buys there. Friday coming down, so we have this buy side liquidity there in the form of previous day's high, that is Thursday's last week high. So all I want to see is a price trying to reject. So from a key level, price closes above this down close candle here. This is what? This is a bullish order block, and it's a 4-hour OB. So I will be watching this to see if this order block will support our higher prices to take out this high, and also this line here is that candle that had no wick on the higher side of it. So that is what I want to look into. After we take out this high, we can decide to now think about going lower, but for opening, I want to see it open low to go high to take out this Thursday's high, previous week's high. But most important, remember that daily fair value growth that supported price higher. If price closes below it, then we think of going lower. But as for now, my eyes are all the way up here. That is what I have in mind for a DXY. We look at GBPUSD weekly chart. The pair name is down here for those asking. So see what happened last week. We took out this high here, beautiful. See that? And then we have our internal range liquidity in the form of an FEG here. You see that? So last week we had manipulation. I am expecting price to drop to this fair value gap this week here, right? On a daily chart, you can see that what happened, taking out that high there. So at least some retracement all the way down to this our key level here. This is the weekly FEG or internal range liquidity. So I'm expecting from external range liquidity to internal range liquidity. This is super clean. If we look at 4-hour chart, this is now well done. So if you look at what we have here, as dollar is opening higher to take out the previous week's high on Thursday, and probably from there I can start looking for lower prices in dollar. I also want to see this one open into this weekly fair value gap by taking out this liquidity here. Then from here, now you see we form a range. So once it takes out this low, this will be the range low. Then now we will think about the range high there. You see that? Yes, so either I'm taking advantage of this move down to this weekly fair value gap. Then from there I see how price reacts from this weekly fair value gap to start taking price higher. Remember from the monthly chart, GU and EU we are bullish, DXY we are bearish. So I want to look into this as we go to next week. Remember last week we had this here. You can go check the review. And then price really supported, price lower. This is an inversion of fair value gap. So from here, we had price go lower, come up once more, order block, fair value gap, dropped lower, and then we had, you see this series of up close candles here, price closed below that. So this is also our bearish order block minus OB. Okay, so from here I anticipate some lower prices, but remember the market will always tell us what it's likely to do. Then that is when we respond. But I want to see price at least open to that order block, come all the way to this weekly fair value gap, and then if we can have some change instead of delivery, then we can see price all the way up there. So that is what I have going into next week's price action. So you realize that I'm working with higher time frames, more so the 4-hour chart, because after every 4-hour candle closes, you have something, you have a story to tell when it comes to analyzing this market. So this is what I have in mind going into this coming week. We see what will happen. So I can take advantage of this move to this weekly fair value gap, or if it opens aggressively to this objective, then we can think of how it reacts from this weekly fair value gap. Then I can take advantage of that move upside after taking the range low into a key level. Then we see price all the way up there. This is GBPUSD. Okay, so we look at EURUSD weekly chart. Same case scenario. If you want more of this from monthly, weekly and all that, you should go watch the previous episodes. We've been following these pairs closely, so I'm sure you can find more information on those other videos. So we had prices moving higher, respecting this fair value gap, going higher once more. Now we have this weekly fair value gap, which was never tapped into last week. So what I'm thinking of lower prices also. After taking out this high, I want to see price eat into this weekly fair value gap. Okay, so my concern is here. Once we do that, then now we can start thinking of this high there. Okay, so we have a minor drop to that level. Then from this key level, we can decide where the market is now likely to gravitate to. The things I'm doing is they might seem simple, but you see, we all working with the logic. We are trying to avoid going into the charts with guesswork. Right? So this is a weekly chart, daily chart. For those who are with me last week, you should be smiling about this pair. We had this amazing rundown, which actually gave us some really nice profits. Yep. So what we have here, you see, price actually engineered very nice liquidity here, relative equal lows. And if you look closer, you realize that also price did what? Got into this key level Friday and rejected it. So I am poised to see lower prices taking out this liquidity down here. So how price responds, I want to see this Friday high holding and the price respecting below 50% of this week as we go into the next week. But it's very obvious that it is dropping down here. Once it drops there, it can continue to eat all the way, because you see down here we also have a discount fair value gap, FVG. See that? So as I'm targeting this weekly key level, the way it opens, we will see how far it wants to dig deep. And when it does that, then we can have our range low and range high. Then I can think of higher prices. But for now, I want to see that weekly fair value gap tagged. Last week it dropped, but it never reached into those levels. So I believe that makes some perfect sense here. So you see, this is clean. This is a very clean liquidity there. Yeah. See that? Yeah. So after taking out this one into our weekly fair value gap, then we can see price now, whether we continue now our bullishness, our price action. So this is good. This is a very nice key level. Last week we had this inversion, remember that? which actually supported price lower. Very nice, even though we didn't get to our objective of that week. So what I'm seeing in this pair is this relative equal loss being swept. So price is rejecting a key level, then closing below this down close candle. That is an order block. It can open to this week and then see my price lower. Of course, I will share charts if I see something printing out which I can resonate with. So I want to see it open lower to go higher, or open lower to continue lower when the PDRAs confirm, when time and the price aligns. Remember, those are the things that we have to look into before we respond to what the market offers. So those are the overview or outlook of what I anticipate on GU, EU and DXY. So I want EU and GU to open lower to those weekly fair value gaps. From those weekly fair value gaps, then I can think of how prices react from those weekly fair value gap. I can have a platform to work from. I can have enough data to work from, so that I can see if I'm starting now to go all the way higher to those range highs, or we continue lower. Don't rush, just be patient, let price print and give you enough information to work with. There is no hurry in these charts. The only thing that can happen if you hurry, it's your stop loss going to be swept very fast. That said and done for EU, GU and DXY. I want us to look at USDJPY. We have a weekly chart. So this is the weekly chart, and as you can see, last week violated this bearish fair value gap. Closing above there, it's a potential balance price range or an inversion fair value gap. So this too seems bullish on the weekly chart or a time frame. On the daily chart, if you look closer here, you can see price, this is that failure swing, and then price went higher. What did it do? It created an inversion here, a fair value gap with an order block or a change in state of delivery, then went higher again and then came back, respected this order block there. You see that? And then remember, we are still above the weekly gap. It can be an IVG or balance price range, depending on how the price will respond off that chart. So this is a good sign of higher prices to take out this high, which is also the weekly fair value gap discount low. If you look at this pair clearly, it's not a pair that you can rush into. We only let price to do what is poised to do. So if I can get a week to take out this low here, the better. So look at this one now. Let me give you some logic here. If it can open lower to take out this low, then I can think of higher prices from here to this level. That is the first case scenario. But if it doesn't get down here, there's something that you are very aware of. This series of up close candle, if it can close above there, then I have my potential order block from a key level, weekly key level, and then I can now see price after it closes above this series of up close candle, like down close candle like that, retest there and take me home. You see that? So I want to watch what Monday gives or maybe what, Tuesday or any other day, until I see logic, I realize that I'm too patient. Any rush, it can take your account away. That is USDJPY, and then we look at EURUSD weekly chart. I love this pair, and I feel like this week I might capture some move. Look at that. So we have this range low and range high. When you measure the distance from the midpoint or equilibrium of this range, you realize that the buy side is too near than the sell side. So I'm poised to work looking for or targeting this high here. See that? So this is what I'm likely to work for this coming week. On the daily chart, if you look closely, you can tell that higher prices is higher probability. So if I'm targeting this area here, then we had taken out this low here to a key level, then the price went higher, came back to an order block here, played along, came back once more again to another order block here, and then pumped higher. Now what we have is this daily fair value gap. So the logic I'm waiting for is to see price either on Monday or Tuesday tapping in this level and rejecting higher. This down close candle should act as an order block for higher prices. You see that? So either on Monday, Tuesday can consolidate, Wednesday tap in and then go higher, or Monday can form an inside bar or consolidate, Tuesday tap in here, reject, market structure shift, change instead, and then you go higher, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday can consolidate, Thursday tapping into this key level, and then we go higher. What I just said there is just weekly profiles. Patience as you wait for one of those to print and see price this high. Actually, I will be watching this closely because it's super clean than even the EU and GU. This has a story from this daily order block. So I will not go below here. I will only wait to see what price behaves from here before I go to 4 hour, then refining to my 15 minutes time frame alignment for my entries. So I will be watching this daily FVG before I do anything. That is EJ. I don't want to talk about GJ. You can go look at it. I don't want to talk about silver. You can check that, but I want to talk about gold. You remember gold last week did us really good, and still the objective is not yet over. You see that? We're not done. We're not done here. So we had taken out this liquidity there. So we had manipulation. Then I anticipated what lower prices to this weekly fair value gap. So and remember what I said. If you watch those videos, I told you I wanted to see price open at least to what, to into this gap, the lower 50% or lower 0.25% before we went lower, and that is what happened there. So this level here is still clean to me. I want to see price dump into this weekly fair value gap. From here, now this will be my range high, this will be my range low. We'll see that in lower time frame. So daily, if you look at daily time frame, there's really nothing much here. Price was just gravitating lower, but failed to tag our key level. 4 hour chart, this is where I feel we can talk about something. If you look at this price clearly, you see what, that level there That is an FEG, and you see these bodies how they closed below 50%, a good sign of lower prices. So if I want to work with this pair, this is the region I'm targeting here. So we got from the key level, price bumped lower. You see this series of up close candles, that is an order block. So if we have an OB bearish from a key level, so from here I want to see these highs not being taken out, then I see price lower to these levels here. So how price responds from here on Monday or Tuesday or any other day is what will tell us that we are going to this level. So once we are at this weekly key level, if the weekly fair value gap holds, then we will have the range low and the range high. Then we can now start thinking of looking for higher prices. So for now, I'm bearish to this weekly fair value gap. This is a 4-hour chart. This is a number of pips here. Somebody might be looking at this chart and be like, that's a very small move. No, this is gold. This is getting this move from here to here. This is a jackpot. you know the spreads for gold. So that is it. I will be patient and see while price opens, but I am bearish. I will be keen to catch this move down here because it's too near to my target, and then it means that the speed at which this price will drop will also be very good if you are part of that move. So drop before we think of higher prices in gold. My voice is disappearing. I hope I will finish this episode. So we look at futures as we wind up. Let's look at of course this one's you trust me, we've been doing so well. Yeah, all of you know that we've been doing super well on these futures. And in this weekly chart, just to remind somebody who probably haven't gone through the previous sessions, we see liquidity sweep. Objective was this high here. We have another fair value gap. We have another range high. So we take this range low, range high there. So I'm still bullish unless otherwise on this pair. On daily, I want you to look at this one closely. So I want you to be cautious next week. We have a fair value gap here on daily. Price can decide to come into this fair value gap like what happened on Thursday. Even this one also. These fair value gaps are being respected to go higher. Now, but I have something you need to watch. This. I want you to watch this. What is that? Price closed above that gap. So if we don't get to this low here, fair value gap, then this gap should help us send price all the way higher to our key levels up here. So you need to be keen there and wait for at least Monday to play out, and then Tuesday to give you something to work with. Don't rush to press your button. Remember, patience is what actually pays. In 4H, so we have these two. You see, we have this one, we have the lower fair value gap, and now we have another fair value gap here. So that's what I'm telling you. I want to watch this pair from the daily perspective. How Monday will close will tell me what to do from there. People trade this pair in lower time frame, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, but I'm not interested with those quick runs. I want to have the logic. Remember, we've been buying this pair from down here for those who've been following all along, and the reason why we are patient and letting price give us what we can work with. So that is what I can advise anyone who wants to trade futures. Just at the lowest time frame, 15 minutes, but before going to 15 minutes, ensure that your 4-hour and your daily and your weekly bias, or where price is likely to go, is in your mind. So be patient as you wait for Monday or Tuesday or any other day where we can see our logic meets price and time. Then from there we can think of what to do in this US 100. The pair is written down here. US 30. We have weekly chart. Man, this was beautiful. Last week is a week that you will live to remember. Yeah, but you see, some gained, some lost accounts because of NFP, but that is it. It's part of this game if you don't follow rules. So we had this analysis. Details you can check the previous videos, and then our target was this weekly fair value gap, and price came actually closed heavily deep into it. I'm not yet done with the higher prices. Still, you see this relative equal highs here. That is where my eyes are, or that's what my eyes are watching. Daily chart. So if I want to go higher, this is a good one. I'm really loving US that lately. It gives me some very clean logic. I love it. Yeah, so like this one, you see, if I want to go high from here, what I will wait for is price to close above this. No longer weekly now, but you see the weekly and the daily fair value gap, they are all overlapping. So we have weekly stroke daily fair value gap. So we have the overlap of the weekly and the daily. So I want to see price close above here, this to act as support, take out that high, and also to continue all the way to the relative equal highs. So that is it. Patience. Let the price bring your model to you. Remember, it's model plus logic. Cramming patterns can harm you. So the best case scenario is to be patient and wait for price. Once it closes above here, then you can now go to lower time frame, retesting that and sending price to this relative equal highs. This one is one that I will watch into. It is clean. It's good. It's good. Otherwise, I'm still bullish on US 30. And we look at US 500, then we can wind up. I know I've taken much of your time, but it is what it is. We have to do this that way so that we learn from what we already have. So the same thing, very nice. Monthly rejection, fair value gap, sell side sweep, price has been up. Okay, so we still have more liquidity and relative equal highs on the other end. So I'm bullish on futures, heavily bullish. I love this one too. This one actually, remember we started buying it down here. For those, the gang that are closely following and learning, all the way last week we had Thursday reversal, pumped higher, very nice, closed above this bearish fair value gap. So the best case scenario from here, if I zoom in here, you will see a fair value gap down here. But now that we have closed above this becomes our inversion fair value gap. Then what now? If this remains untouched like this, if price doesn't get down here, the better for higher prices. But if it still gets down here, we can still continue higher. But my best case scenario, it's better be left unattended. Price should not come down here. But if it does, then from there we still have a reason to go higher. So if it opens, if it gaps higher, then the better, so that we can work with the gap. Remember the anatomy of the gap, and then we can send price higher. Now we can remove this one now, because this is almost done with. You see that? Yeah, so objective is this relative equal highs there. So guys, that is the logic between the pairs that we look at. Remember, it is futures, gold, USDJPY, dollar, and the two pairs, GU and EU, then EURUSD. That is my watch list, and you've seen me work with that each and every single week. So my prayer, my hope is that always apply logic. Don't fall for the trap of waiting for someone to send you signals. Losing money when you follow your rules, when you apply the right risk management, and when you have your own logic. When a stop loss is hit in that kind of scenario, you don't feel bad. But when your stop loss is hit by following someone's thinking and reasoning, that never gets off your head. So I believe that you're growing into trusting yourself. Okay, that is the most important thing as a trade that you can do. Hey guys, before my voice disappears completely, I beg to stop here and wish you well. Remember to always trust and believe yourself. I'm sure by the end of the year, a number of you will be somewhere better from the small things that we do each and every single day here, and that will be my hope, that all shall be well. The most important principle I want you to grab and remain and work with is patience is king. Don't rush, don't over trade, don't over risk your account, don't rely on lower time frame. You see, it's been weeks you haven't seen me post heavy losses. No. Why? Because I am super patient for higher time frame key levels to be respected or violated. Then from there I can work out from there. So try to gain that. Rush can harm your account, and I don't want to see you knowing what you know now, again making mistakes which are impulsive or out of emotions. If you haven't watched the Psychology Volume 1, 2, and 3, I request that you go there and watch those videos. Then another thing, I will make a video on how, in details on how I journal. I will make another video on how I work with my risk management, and I'll tell you sometimes you may lose account because of not knowing how to work with risk management. For example, when you are in a drawdown, how are you supposed to be out of that drawdown? I will bring some very comprehensive lessons on the same. I will do another lesson on SMT. It's coming up. It's just a matter of time. So you see, there are good things coming over. So your work is just to show up and be present when you are supposed to, and follow rules and try to be curious to learn. For those who are negative energies, you see them posting on X, wondering. You see, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm so good in what I do. Like that one, you can take it to the bank. I know what these charts can print. When I see, I know this is going to fail. I know this is going to work out. I know at this point this I should change my bias. Like I know what I'm doing. So when I see some guys balls vibrating because they are just depressed, and it is end of the month, probably they want to engage and find something off Elon Musk's account, and so that they can pay their bills. But for those who are here, paying your bills is something that will be easy if you continue showing up, and everything will eventually work out. So stop the pressure, appreciate what is good. I always welcome positive criticism. That is productive. But when you see guys trying to be happy, but I know how to attack. Yeah, guys, I wish you all the best. Let's see what next week offers. Remember, this is not a signal generator. I'm only giving out what my head and my eyes see in these charts. Hopefully you found this insightful. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and also leave a comment for what you think can be done next video, or what you're struggling with. We can tackle that as time allows. Honestly, my voice is completely disappearing, guys. Until next time, be safe.